Scott Schaefer for the Acceptance Guidebook. Wanted to chat with you a little bit about God. Where is God? If you're reading this, you probably have learned or have decided that God is inside of you and not outside of you. And I probably would tend to agree with that. I was raised, kind of more traditionally Catholic, grade school, and that kind of thing. And, it was fine. It was fine. And, it was always God is outside and big church, really, really, really tall in, stained glass windows and things like that. And it was really cool. It was cool. But in time, the thoughts about spirituality and God have evolved a great deal in a very short amount of time. We're talking, from grade school to now, that's just a decade or a couple of decades or something. And we've come a long way in a very short amount of time. Lots of energy moving around. So before I get off base, where is God? God is within us, right? Well, how do we make God come out? Hello, who's in there? You just have to dust off the cobwebs sometimes and open up the heart. Speaking of which, a good friend of mine said once something along the lines of, forgiveness isn't a mental practice, but it's a practice of dusting. It's not dusting out the cobwebs in your mind. It's dusting off the cobwebs in your heart. To use them and such. And I think since most of who we are probably comes from here, when we can actually feel it from there, then more of us is actually coming out. This world is an illusion. Do your homework with the movies and the science and such, or just read A Course in Miracles. It's been around quite a bit longer. And, you find that this is all illusion. Well, what part of this is real? Well, the part that's changeless, And we have we have our own innate knowledge of how to tap into that. And our feelings are always going to be, without question, they will always be the true indicator of where our alignment is with our source, how we're feeling inside. And it kind of tells us how much we're in contact with our source. Are we really far away from God, or are we really close up? So, and I think a lot of people get confused, myself included, that when you feel negative emotion, it means something's wrong. And it's not really what it means. It just means that you are, it just indicates relationship. And this is in the book. This is in my book. Negative emotion indicates relationship. How we feel indicates relationship. If we're feeling really bad, we're really far from our God source within. If we're feeling really, really good, we're a lot closer. And it all happens in this universe right here that we call a body, mind and spirit, this body of consciousness here. Infinite proportions within the cells of our being, It's pretty fascinating, Why does God have to be out there, Well, he probably is, and he's everywhere, right? He, she, excuse me. And but really, there's a technology within us that includes everybody having a piece of God and everybody being able to access it and grow it and develop it for themselves. And we're finding that we're needing fewer and fewer intermediaries in order to help us access God. We have the default attraction system, law of attraction, and we have everything that we need that really gets us in touch with what we need at any given moment, by what we're choosing as creators. So, if that wasn't too much of a mouthful for you, God is within, and we can learn to access the God within. We are God also, and I invite you to do that. I know it's not an easy path sometimes. It doesn't have to be complicated, although I've made it plenty complicated. It can be extremely easy. It doesn't matter where you start, and it doesn't matter really where you finish either. It's that you're enjoying the journey, and that if you're enjoying the journey, well, then you are in touch with your God, the God within you, the He, She, It, whatever you want to give that name. But call God yourself. You have that power, and you can create anything. You really can. And the book will help you get in touch with what maybe some of those opposing forces are, bring about some of that awareness, and then you can kind of let go of what you don't need and start embracing more of what you do. So just one approach to a very loaded question, and in just a few minutes of time. So thank you.
To learn more, come visit me at acceptanceguidebook.com and facebook.com/Todd Schaefer author fan page. Thank you.